The first thing you're going to want to have is a big bowl, a medium bowl, a knife for leveling, a 1 cup measuring, and a 1/4 cup measure. You can level with your knife like that. When you're adding all your dry ingredients together, you want to be using the medium bowl, and you also want to be using a sifter, which I don't actually have. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I am going to do 1 full teaspoon because I wasn't very happy with how little the last ones rose. And that is what baking powder does. It makes cookies rise. And you also want to add the salt. Just a little bit. So when you mix this together, you're going to want to use one of these guys just to make sure that everything is properly getting mixed together, because if it doesn't, then the cookies will not rise level and they could taste pretty salty or pretty doughy. Just make sure it's all nice. And with this step, you can probably just use the same measuring cup, the 1 cup, 250 milliliters, because they should have signs there that say 3/4 cup. So you want to add in the 3/4 cup sugar as well as 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. You want it to be at room temperature so that it mixes well together. And I wouldn't suggest using one of these. I would suggest using a hand mixer. This is a pureer, but it's the only. So that's what you want it to look like. Nice and smooth, all mixed together, no chunks. Add the 1 egg. It should be at room temperature as well. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So this is 1/2 teaspoon, so I'll be doing 4. And then if you want, you can add 1/2 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. If you don't have it, that is okay, because not everybody uses it anyways. And then you're gonna wanna beat all this together, and same thing, just make sure that it's all mixed together and that there's no chunks. Now, I have my 2 bowls with my wet ingredients and my dry ingredients. I am gradually gonna add a little bit of the dry to the wet, about 1 cup at a time, 1 cup to 1/2 cup. And this is when your spatula is going to come in handy, so you can scrape the edges, and probably your stand mixer as well. You're gonna wanna mix all the ingredients. Once you have it in the bowl, you wanna split them into 2 and kind of flatten them into little saucer looking things. You can pile them together, bring them over to your fridge, pop them in the fridge, and let them chill for 1 to 2 hours. And clean up your mess. So when you're getting set up to put them in the oven, you're gonna wanna have your station set up like this with your cookie cutter, your dough, a rolling pin. You're gonna want a flat surface with some flour on it. And then I don't have parchment paper, so I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray. But you're gonna want to have a cookie sheet with some parchment paper on it, and my oven is preheating to 350 degrees. To create the icing, I have a small bowl, and I'm gonna whisk the sugar, the vanilla, the corn syrup, and 2 tablespoons of water together. It should be quite thick in the end. I am happy with my consistency, as when I lift it up, it stays there for a couple seconds before it actually falls back into the bowl. I have these small bowls that I'm going to divide this into 3 different bowls so I can make colors. So when you roll them out and then you cut them with the cookie cutters, you want to place them that far apart on the baking sheet. When you take them out of the oven, place them on a cooling rack for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can start decorating.